Just waiting for the drivers to get their lap in, get it done, move on to Q2. The cars stream out of the pits, ready for the first of the 2 qualifying sessions that matter. It's nice to have you with us wherever you're tuning in from. Mike Wilson bringing you the PS4 Australia-New Zealand Open Wheel Division 1 Championship. We extend you a warm welcome from Austria Round 14. Great to have you with us as we bring you the action live. And as you can see on your screen, wet weather is going to be the main theme of the session. Who can handle the conditions best? First car to give us a lap in anger will be Nodsty in the sole running Red Bull. Gives it plenty of pepper out of the last corner. And here we go. Hooks it up nicely through turn 1. So it's certainly damp, not exactly monsoonal. Front right, blocked hard. Still a corner where you can afford to run a little wide. A few years ago in the F1 we saw Sergio Perez taking that as his preferred line around what is turn 3 on the circuit. 10 corners in total. Sounds simplistic enough, but always a track that seems to throw up plenty of action. Sector 3 now for Nodsty. Recently moving over from the Haas team during the mid-season swaps, and brings it round the last corner, and the first time will be a 1:12.2. Next up would be, is it Mort? It is Mort. 2 tenths off. Midas next in the Renault. He's 8 tenths behind. His teammate still the Shiz next. Crosses the line. 1.9 down, and not some of his best. Tactics stays 5th, well down. Hawks coming round behind his teammate. The Simo went 5th. Hawks goes 4th, 4 tenths behind. Oh, Mastiff is not next, it's cousin Jason. He's 3 seconds down, and Damo just ahead of him in 9th. So, that would be Pump Mastiff now, about to finish his run. Where's it going to put him? Shoots him up for the 4th row of the grid. 1.9 seconds behind Nodsty. So Nodsty made the best of it. Could that be it? If the track continues to get wetter and wetter, it's unlikely we'll see any of those guys improve their time. Who's going again? Cousin Jason. No, I've misread that. That was Tactics. Followed over the line by the 2 Ferraris. No real improvement in times. A few of them crossing the line, coming round for these second bites of the cherry, but I'm not seeing any improvements. Can still the Shiz move up? He can't. We've got a yellow flag. It's Nodsty, probably just jumping out of DM's way. I forgot how we're pronouncing that name. Demo. I'll just stick with DM for the time being. If anyone can hear me struggling, feel free to chuck it in to the live chat. Now we've got the Renault of Midas going across the line. Again, fails to improve. So, as it stands, it appears it's gotten a little bit wetter in the 3 minutes or so we've seen, and we're not getting improvement in times. As I say that, Nodsty did put... did he take a little bit off his time? No, he didn't. There's still a Mercedes out there going for it. It's Pump Mastiff. He's 1.3 seconds down. He does improve. 4/10 behind. Remember, top 10 qualifiers in this session will go through to the third and final quali. DM's about to cross the line. He's yet to post a time. Needs to get moving. Chop. And 4.2 seconds down won't be of benefit to him. Midas, he's 6/10 down. Doesn't improve. We've got a Ferrari off at Hawks. He's found the gravel coming out of 7 into 8. Easy place to do it. Made contact with the wall as well. As you could see by the piece of front wing end plate completely missing. So we'll have to pop into the pits, but unless we see a sudden halt in rain in the next few minutes, this top 10 may stay the way it currently is. Humble Hippo down there in 13th, yet to set a time. He's about to do so. Only good enough to move him ahead of DM 1 place and onto the 6th row. 3.5 seconds down. We got another yellow flag. It's just a Mercedes of Pump Mastiff going slow. Pump Mastiff improved again. He's less than a 10th behind Nodsty. So really finding little extra bits of grip out there on the circuit that the others aren't. Damo 11th in danger of not making it through, and he's invalidated this lap, so that's going to be no good. He decides to jump back into the pits once more. Is the Humble Hippo going for it? Through the last corner now. Oh, and what happened there? Nice glitchy moment in the game. By the way, that lap won't be of much benefit to him. Saw in the background there the Mercedes of cousin Jason coming out of the pits, getting ready to go again. Welcome back. Q3 now underway. The cars once more stream out onto the track. Well, half of them at least. The other half choosing to stay indoors at the moment. Maybe hoping for the session to dry out. But once more it's Nodsty, first man out. So we'll go round with him for the first lap of Q3. Led the way in Q2. And he'll be looking for a repeat dose. And as I say that, the rest of the cars start to head out on track, all bar Breno in the McLaren. He's still sat in the garage. Now being the first to complete the first sector. It's a purple one for Nodsty, obviously, but that immediately gets taken away from him. Sorry, that was sector 2, was it? He got purple in. Looked like it was immediately taken away by Pump Mastiff. I think he lost it straight away as well. Just quickly flicking through to... Well, either way, best lap goes to Nodsty with a similar time to his Q2. A 112.4. Pump Mastiff lobs it up there into second. Tactics will come over the line behind Mort, and that's fourth currently. The Simo next. Where will this time put him? Shoots him up to third. Splits the championship leaders, Pump Mastiff and Mort. And his Ferrari teammate is about to commence his lap, crosses the line. So this is the second batch of cars coming out. Breno still sat in the garage. Very patient. So we'll watch Hawks now. He's got cousin Jason behind. And I think it's Midas running third on track as far as the guys doing the hot laps are concerned. And that's a purple first sector for Hawks. Nodsty went again and took 2/10 off his time. Pump Mastiff's about to cross the line once more. 1:13.4 becomes a 1:12.3. Just misses the top time by a 10th. Mort's going to go through again. Doesn't improve. Hawks. Winner last week on the streets of Singapore by just a few tenths. I don't think the Simo just improved on his time. Tactics. Surely he's got a bit of time up his sleeve. He comes over the line. Doesn't improve. But Hawks, the man we did the lap with, takes a top spot by 4/10. That's a pretty quick lap. Midas chucks in a 1:13.8. Cousin Jason now. No time. He might have to go again. Will Nodsty go again? Nodsty will. He's fueled up and looking for laps. So here he comes. Can he take back top spot? He can! Oh, by 2/100ths. It's about as close as you like. Breno's out on track doing a lap now. We might just ride with Breno briefly. We'll see. We've got, I think it's, yeah, Mort's about to come round again. So they're finding time. Can Mort find some? 1:12.7. Stays at that time. The Simo next. His 1:12.9 becomes a 1:12.4. Finds half a second. Good enough for the second row. Hawks abandons his lap. Tactics. There's got to be more time in that Williams. There just has to be. Sitting on a 1:14.2. Can't get it. He can't get it. Struggling his Tactics. Here's cousin Jason. Around the last corner over the line. 1:15.4. Touch. Disappointed with that. Midas jumps in the pits. Nodsty follows him in. Breno completing that lap. And And the time will be a 1:12.1. So shoots straight up to third. Promptly goes wide on the next lap. So it is as tight as you like at the top. 2 100ths separating Nodsky from Hawks. Hawks waste no time heading back out on track. Oh, here goes Hawks on his quick lap, and first corner. It is invalidated. Palm Mastiff going for another one, sitting fourth. Times are pretty tight at the top. All roughly within about a second of each other, bar for the two Renaults not having their best Q3 so far. Still the Shiz, he's gone. DQ'd. Midas still with plenty more time to find in that sole remaining Renault. Now Pump Mastiff, what's he got? 2 minutes 20 remaining in the session. I think he knows he could just eke out a little bit more time from that Mercedes. Round the last corner. Can he improve on his 1:12.3? Takes a tenth off, but it doesn't move him up the time sheets. Ever so closer to the top three, and there's his teammate, cousin Jason, going round and round out of the last corner. Oh, and did that, I think that just somewhat hampered Midas coming out of the last corner as well. I might have got a little bit, become a little bit apprehensive. And it cost him, washed off some speed, but you see Mort coming over the line now. He's sixth on a 1:12.7. He's going to try again. Didn't carry the greatest amount of speed out of turn one, but made the corner nonetheless. Still in the hunt. Using all the track on the exit of turn 6. And it's a purple second sector. So he has found time, Mort. can he put the cherry on top? Cousin Jason's done for the day. Here comes Mort. And finds 8 tenths. A 1:11.9. Good enough for 5th at the moment. Here's the 2 Ferraris now. Hawks has just purpled the 2nd sector. Closes in on his teammate, the Simo there. Can the Simo give him a little bit of a tow down the start-finish straight? Over the line they come. Simo doesn't improve. Hawks goes to the top with a 1:11.5. Pump Mastiff fires in a 1:11.6, just shy of the pole time. But the 2 will get on the front row as a result, unless this handful of remaining drivers can do something about it. Nodsty needs to find about 2 tenths, just over. Won't do it out there. And that'll be his session done. Can Midas improve? Breno's not going to. Midas does improve up to 7th. Breno boxes. And that will leave us with Tactics. Oh, but he's Sans front wing. So he won't be improving. And that'll be all she wrote. So it's Hawks. 1:11.596. There's your results up on screen. It was a tight little session. But Hawks grabs the top spot. So not far away from the next session. Oh, there we go. Mort's going to a dry race. Mort has advised me, so we're going Demorvid. And I apologise too. I think I referred to Hawks earlier as the last week's race winner. He crossed the line first, and then with a 3-second penalty, finished roughly 3 tenths or so behind Nodsty, who was last week's race winner in Singapore. So strap yourself in, we're about to go racing. The session less than a minute away from start. Drivers will head around on a warm-up lap before lining up on the grid for the race proper. So here we go, the sun is out, the sun is shining, and I think that's good. I think we're going to get better race action as a result. Hawks leads the pack away, looking to go one better than his 2nd place from last week. Agonisingly close to the victory in Singapore. And if you are just joining us, we extend you a very warm welcome wherever you're tuning in from. This is the PS4 Australia-New Zealand Open Wheel Division 1 Championship, live from Austria Round 14. Can't wait. Half race distance. Cars will do 36 tours of the circuit. The A1 ring, or Red Bull ring, as it's now called. 10 corners for the drivers to negotiate each and every lap. We've got 15 drivers on the grid. And yes, we'll be going with, we won't be referring to DM as DM, it'll be Demorvid from now on. We'll rock and roll with that. So the cars pop round onto the grid. And just wait for the guys at the back to line up. The 5 red lights will come on. And when they all go off at once, the race will begin. Here we go, waiting for the lights. Five lights are on. Off they go. And we are underway. The Ferrari gets enough of a good start that should see him keep the lead, or the Mercedes will say something about that. Goes up the inside. Breno hunting right there in the background in third. And behind those two, we've got Nodsty and Mort side by side as they have the drag race up to turn 3. It's like you're going in 2 by 2 onto the arc in pairs into the turn 3. And Pump Mastiff now pulls away, leaving Hawks to deal with Breno on his outside. No DRS yet for the first few laps. Breno takes the spot, and further back, a bit of dueling into turn 4. But pretty quickly now the field falls into single file. We've got still the Shiz there, and Dangerfield up his inside. Gets that move done. And that helps Damo close in back there. But he's got his own worries now. And his teammate Ninja Penguin having to deal with the Humble Hippo. So we go round. First lap done. It's Pump Mastiff ahead of Hawks, ahead of Breno, then Hawks, as our display goes haywire, as it tends to do. Mort thinking about a move here on Nodsty. Not close enough for a move, but very close. And we want to keep one eye on his mirrors. With the Simo back there, always a danger. In the Ferrari. Further down, the 2 racing points have really got their hands full here. He's going to go up the inside. Still the Shiz. Locks up, but no contact. Leaves the door open for Still the Shiz on the outside of 5, which becomes the inside of 6. They're still going to go side by side, these two. Still the Shiz holds the spot. And says thank you and goodbye. And heads off. Good bit of dueling, good clean racing. And further down, Mort. Thought there was an issue. So, oh, it's tactics is gone. He's gone off at the second to last corner. We missed it. Not sure if he had contact with someone. Oh, and there's the Renault, Still the Shiz. He's spun into turn 1. So we've got Still the Shiz pointing the wrong way. Tactics off the track between turns 9 and 10. No sign of a safety car. And the Williams is cleared away. Still the Shiz carries on. No apparent damage on the Renault. Now what's happened to Hawks? He's dropped down to 4th. The pole man. Suddenly losing positions. And Mastiff up front. Championship leader. Breno there in second. Nodsty third. Might just go further down to Demorvid. I think he's harassing the Humble Hippo, or maybe just got passed by the Humble Hippo. I think they've been going hammer and tong at each other, these two, the same as the 2 racing points. So I think Ninja Penguin should have DRS open here. He does, closing in on his teammate. Will try to shoot up the inside and pulls out of it and almost runs up the bum of Damo. But manages not to. Mort now in this Ferrari sandwich. He's dealing with the Simo on his case. About as close as you like. He's failed to find the apex of the prior two corners, Mort. That's compromising his speed. Allowing the Simo to stay right with him. So DRS for the Simo. It's the way it... Oh, actually there's 3 DRS sections on this track. So there'll be plenty of helpings of DRS for the Simo now. Uses it down the start-finish straight to get close enough to line up the Alpha into turn 3, but goes too hot, too deep on the brakes. Have to give that spot back. And as a result too, because he got past the Alfa Romeo so early, the Alpha driver picked up DRS. It's helped him just drive away from the Simo once more. We welcome IG8 Live Esports to the coverage. Good to have you with us in the comments there, mate. Welcome back. Lap 5 of the Austrian Grand Prix. Pump Mastiff leading Breno from Nodsty. Those three all making up a spot at the expense of Hawks, dropping down 3 positions from his pole position. As we see the Simo having to deal with Midas up the inside. He's taken 2 cars at once. It had to go deep, surely. Forgot to brake. And now the Simo is going to try again. Forced to the outside this time. Again gets ahead so early that Mort should get some DRS assistance once more as they make their way down to turn 4. But I don't think he's going to be close enough. I think the Simo has delivered the package this time, and 5th spot is as good as his for the time being. Now up ahead, Nodsty has taken 2nd place from Breno. Breno was up there pretty much on the case of Pump Mastiff, now finds himself down in 3rd, so might have made an error on one of the corners. Down the start-finish straight they go once more. I'd like to take another look at the racing points, because these two have been running line astern pretty much since the start of the race. As we look down on the 2 from above, Ninja Penguin with the DRS open, you can see the difference it makes as he closes right in and a bit more under brakes. Actually, that lead racing point, I think, even from up here, we can see missing a piece of that front wing. So that's no doubt going to hamper him. Ninja Penguin goes well to the inside, but Damo fights back on the outside and retakes the spot once more. Oh, we lost him for a bit. There we go. That's not a good view. We can't see. Here goes Ninja Penguin once more. Up the inside, and yes, confirming from those shots, Damo does have damage. So that's not going to help him at all. Better check the tyre situation. So there we see him, Hawks on the medium tyres. Maybe that had something to do with his early demise and loss of positions. But as we say that, he's closing back in on Breno now. So we might stick with the Ferrari driver. One spot ahead of his teammate. Damo picks up the first 3-second time penalty of the day. Oh, sorry, that's not true at all. I missed the fact that Hawks has got one. And Damo already had one. And Midas in the Renault is currently 7th. One of his own. Now, what happened to Demore? But he's dropped right off the back of the pack down there in 14th. So Breno keeping the gap consistent to Nodsty, somewhat dragging Hawks up there with him. And it might only be a matter of a few laps before we see some action from these three. One man who will be happy to see them. Oh, we've got a Ferrari off. It's the Simo. Turn 1. Gathers it up, but I think he's missing a piece of front wing. I might have just sent it round and round at the exit of turn 1. Is he missing a piece? No. Looks to be okay. Shall continue on. Simo still sitting third in the championship. Failed to score a point in the second to last lap of last round. Found himself in the barrier and went home with 0 points. Or a duck egg, as I subconsciously referred to it as. Looking to make amends, but unfortunately not going the way he would like. Now drops to 9th. Following that spin, Dangerfield and cousin Jason are beginning to get acquainted with one another. Oh, and Damo down there now. Still struggling minus that piece of front wing, and he's about to lose 2 more positions. And he's dropping plenty of time. He fights back here on the inside of still the Shiz. Damage or no damage, he's not going to lie down lightly. Up the inside. Sends the number 13, a racing point, back into 12th position. But he's going to make still the Shiz work for it. Dollar don't come easy, and nor do race positions in Formula 1. So Pump Mastiff still out in front, 2.7 seconds ahead of Nodsty, Breno and Hawks, who are running their own little DRS train there. Now this is the section where Damo struggles, and as I say, it goes wide. Let's still the Shiz through at the last corner. And that'll be it for that. I wonder if Damo doesn't need to bite the bullet and come in. He'd be hoping for a safety car or something. If it does happen, he might want to get those penalties out of the way, if he can serve those in the pits. Back up near the front of the pack, we're with the second placed man, Nodsty. Still with Breno and Hawks not far behind. Can't get out of the DRS range. Breno doesn't seem to close in that much with the DRS assistance. And no doubt Breno will have one eye on Hawks behind him. Hawks looking pretty strong under brakes there. Hawks just can't get close enough as long as Breno keeps picking up DRS as a result of being within 1 second of Nodsty at the DRS detection zones. How much more life will these tyres have in them? So we've reached 1/3 distance. We're on lap 12, or 12 laps behind us, whereas we go on to lap 13 of the Austrian Grand Prix. Pump Mastiff with his gap at the front, now out to just over 3 seconds. And these three here are about as close as they have been yet. So they are closing in on Nodsty, but it's only by a matter of inches per lap. And as the great Murray Walker used to say, catching's one thing, passing is quite another. As we saw Breno lock his front right, almost skated wide at turn 4. And just like that, I mean, only it's still showing as half a second on the timesheets, but it just looks like a lot when it comes to this circuit, a half a second gap. Something very go-kartish about this circuit. But that could be the ticket that Hawks needs to try and get past the McLaren. Now he went wider than he would have liked there, Breno. This has compromised him. Hawks closing in. He's going to get forced to the outside. If he's going to do it, it'll have to be the hard way. And Breno, I don't know if he was meant to go for the move there, finds himself up the inside of the Red Bull. Hawks can't capitalise. Spins up the back wheels in the background. And Breno up the inside at 4. It's hard to stick it around the outside there, nor fight back with a cutback, as Nodsty's about to find out. So Breno, second position. Hawks, can he capitalise? Can he take Nodsty? Some of these guys on the soft tyres might be looking at a pit stop very soon. Oh, Hawks very wide, and as I say that, Nodsty jumps in. So he's had enough. He needs to get in. He needs to hope these two start duelling. Take some time off each other while he's out there banging in fast laps on the new tyres. Who's gone off? I think it's Humble Hippo. He's out. The car's been cleared away already. Oh, safety car would have spiced that up somewhat. So a few of them jumping into the pits now. Midas goes in with Dangerfield as well. Nodsty's going to be the man to watch. Hawks trying to close in on Breno. No more DRS bonuses for Breno. Will Breno jump in now? Will he react to Nodsty's pit stop? I'm going to say yes. Because I think if he stays out one more lap, Hawks will have him. If he's on the defence already, well, that means he's coming into the pits. Oh, geez, goes wide. Hawks has him, but I think Breno's going to cut back into the pits anyway. So now's the time for Hawks to get the hammer down. Ooh, I hope he slowed that down in time, Breno. He did just. Now, Nodsty flying around the last two corners. Has Nodsty done enough to take the position back off Breno? It would appear so. Breno going agonisingly slow down the pit lane, jumps back on the pace. He's got that tight pit lane exit to negotiate. Here they go. Nodsty jumps in behind. And Breno just holds on, but the battle's not over yet. As they go streaming down to turn 3, can Nodsty do anything about it? Gets a little wide. Breno still finding his feet on the cold medium compound tyres. The DRS is going to help Nodsty. Can he stick it around the outside? He's going to be forced to brake right out there on the ripple strip. Breno now getting the hang of those tyres. And should just hold on. So the next one, Pump Mastiff into the pits. Hawks really needs to get the hammer down out there. Remember, he's got that 3-second time penalty to contend with as well. I think this will do Pump Mastiff quite well, given that those two in second and third, well, effectively on second and third, Breno and Nodsty, once Mort jumps into the pits. Well, we don't know what Hawks and Mort, they could be on the superior strategy. But my point being, Pump Mastiff, who was roughly 3 seconds ahead of Breno and Nodsty before, and after the first round of pit stops for that lot, now has a gap of 5 seconds. So all definitely worked well for Pump Mastiff. So the next question on the agenda for the day, when will Hawks and More jump into the pits? Looking at what time all those guys jumped into the pits, you would assume maybe in about 2 to 3 laps time. And try and then get a good 16 laps out of the soft tyres till the end of the race. Further down, Nodsty's not done with Breno yet, and look at this, it's going to be on at turn 3 here. The DRS down, gets a little wobbly. Breno could be done before turn 3. That really hampered his speed, and sure enough, Nodsty goes through. And again, did he go through early enough that Breno is going to get DRS himself? There we see the rear wing pop open. DRS open, confirmed, on screen. That won't be enough to get him close enough. We're watching Ninja Penguin down there in 6th place. Goes wide on the final corner. Midas will do him. Just behind them, Dangerfield and Cousin Jason. Running a little duel of their own. Look how close. Look how close. We want to move to defend Dangerfield. He needs to try and stick with him, as we're seeing all day. The car with the DRS getting so far ahead by the corner that the second car then gets DRS of their own. Now that was the Simo back there. He was shooting well wide. Turn 3. Just like Cousin Jason might do if he doesn't pull up that Mercedes. Manages to, but at the expense of that front right tyre. Damo has been in, got that front wing fixed. Car will be handling like a dream now, compared to what it was before. Breno, he just closed back in on Nodsty, he sure did. Close, but not close enough. See the McLaren in the background there, harassing the gearbox of the Red Bull. So will this be the last lap that the leaders do before they jump into the pit, Hawks? And picks up another time penalty, so 6 seconds worth. Again, this is what killed him. This is what really hurt him in Singapore last week. And that was a 3-second time penalty. As we see De Morva jump out of the way of the race leader. 6 seconds in penalties. 4-second gap to Mort. Midas picks up another one of his own. So Hawks locking those tyres would potentially suggest they may be just about at the end of their lifespan. And here he comes, as we expected. Oh, what's going on further down there? There's 3 cars going at it into turn 4. We've got Ninja Penguin on the outside of Dangerfield. Cousin Jason just up ahead. Ninja Penguin on the 20 lap, old medium, so he'll be due for a pit stop. Now Mort's done his, and Hawk's up ahead. Now they've come out well behind the leader. The gap about 11 seconds between first and fourth. We got a yellow flex. It's just Demorbid, I think, just moving out of the way. Ninja Penguin's made that pit stop of his now. Has Breno gone through on Nodsty up there in for second? Gets it done this time. We just missed the move. But the McLaren moves up to second. Someone needs to get out after Pump Mastiff if they're going to take the win. He's had no pressure on him all race, Pump Mastiff. Oh. And looks like Nodsty's not done with Breno yet. So as we say, use that first DRS section to close in on the car in front and then get the move done. Heading up to turn 3. Doesn't have a lot of pace in that Red Bull though. He's really going to have to fight for it. Does find the braking zone though ahead of Breno. But Breno gets DRS. I don't think it's going to be enough. Now, worth noting, Hawks flying on those soft tyres in fourth. Can Mort do the same? Could be something left in this race yet if the Ferrari of Hawks and the Alfa Romeo of Mort can maximise those soft tyres. Is it possible that they could close in? There's another fastest lap from Hawks, a 106.0. Soft tyres, light fuel load. These two are going to know each other very well by the checkered flag. And there he is in the background, Hawks. So I think all the earlier dueling in the race has hurt him. We better check the gap. Flick that over to the leader, Hawks. So 7.5 behind Pump Master. 5 lap younger tyres. 1 softer compound. And he's closing in on these two at an incredible rate of knots. Bangs in another fastest lap. Oh, Mort though promptly goes and usurps it by half a second, a 105.4. Here we go up to turn 3. Breno on Nodsty. They just might have hampered Hawks. He might have been thinking about a move there and had to just put it on the shelf for this lap as these two go at it once more. All the while it's good for Pump Master. Keeps him away from him. Here goes Hawks now. This might be enough for him to get it done. He will. The Red Bull has to tuck in behind. And Hawks promptly onto the back of Breno. It's hard to know what Breno would be thinking right now, but I think with, I guess, foresight we may have, he might just want to make this easy for Hawks and not lose the position to Nodsty. If Hawks gets through early enough here and gives Breno DRS on the next straight, that should be enough to keep him ahead of Nodsty. And I think that's exactly how it's going to go down. So Hawks moves up to second. and begins his pursuit of the race leader, but I think with those time penalties it's going to be a bridge too far. He's effectively got to make up 13 seconds in 10 laps. Further down we've got Dangerfield stalking the Renault of Midas, looking for a move on the outside of 4. Hard to stick it round there. Just asked Alex Albon. Dear oh dear. Can't get the move done this time. So cousin Jason laps Damo on lap 27. Oh, we lost that battle there. Apologies. Midas to the outside of Dangerfield. Oh, the Alpha Tauri really lighting up the back wheels. Like a dragster. Somehow managed to maintain his speed out on the exit of the corner despite the wheels spinning furiously. So now Mort in 5th place. He's closed in on the Breno v Nodsty battle. In fact there, Midas has got Dangerfield this time. And all the while that's allowing cousin Jason to close in. Dangerfield says, I want that place back. They go so close to each other under braking. And look how much cousin Jason closes in just behind. Look at these. Nose to tail, the 3 cars. It's good racing. Mort's got Nodsty. Mort's taken 4th place. And now Mort lining up Breno as well. Fishtailing the McLaren out of turn 1. That'll just make it that little bit easier for the number 14 Alfa Romeo. It's forced to the outside. It's not going to give it up that easy, Breno. But again, it's allowing Nodsty just to close back up. The Alfa Romeo is going to do him this time. And Mort moves up to 3rd. So with about 7 laps remaining, yeah, it's looking pretty good for Pump Mastiff. Had a pretty cruisy race out front with all the battling going on behind him, keeping the other cars away from him. He's had a nice time of it out front. Damo's in the pits and the racing point. Nodsty. This battle picks up once more. Nodsty needs to get him and get past and make 3 seconds if he's going to keep that position. Goes around the outside, takes it into 3. Yeah, it's a little wide. Yeah, as mentioned, 3 seconds worth of penalties of his own. Breno and Pump Mastiff, the top 2 cars not to get a penalty, so they've done pretty well so far. I think Midas and Dangerfield are picking up their battle once more. can always throw up a good battle, the Red Bull Ring, but I mean, I've said it on other circuits, and I think it can definitely be said for this circuit, the DRS is just a bit too powerful. There's no skill in using DRS and just getting past your opponent well before the corner. You'd at least like to see them battle under brakes. I'd wrap it up there and say that's a story for another day, but generally I bring it up the next time I see it. So lap 31, 5 and a bit to go. As we watch Breno taking a slightly better line through 4, helps him just to close that gap. Now what's going on back here? Sorry, we've got cars. 4 cars dueling through turn 3. Up ahead it's Midas and Dangerfield. They refuse to leave each other alone. The Simo flying into the braking zone. He was lapping Damo, I think it is, just behind. Who, as we mentioned him, picks up another time penalty. That puts Damo at 12 seconds worth. Up front, Hawks really has closed that gap, I think. He might get close. Ooh, who's that throwing pieces of car off? It's Dangerfield. So he's going to be a sitting duck for the Simo, who tucks back in behind the Renault and goes for another one. Takes 2 cars down the straight. Midas is up the inside. Needs to keep his car out of the side of that Alpha Tower. He does so, but it's Dangerfield that remains in front, both with DRS. Simo dusts his hands and says goodbye. And guess who's at it again? Yep, it's these two. Here goes the Red Bull to the outside. So many overtakes we're seeing. Didn't pull it up how he wanted to. And as you can see, that's allowed Breno to just tuck the McLaren up the inside, but the Red Bull gets a better run out of the corner. Breno ducks behind, takes a little nibble of slipstream, chucks it to the apex. Tyres screeching. And pulls back, 4th spot once more. And again, he could just sit behind the Red Bull and take it on penalties, but better to be in front, just in case he picks up one of his own. The gap at the front between Hawks and Pum Mastiff now under 2.5 seconds. Might have enough time to pass the Mercedes and find himself ruining another race victory lost as a result of a time penalty. Nodsty lines up the McLaren, not close enough this time. Now the Simo's just gone past Midas, so he's making his way up. That's 6th place now. Had a few issues today. This could be interesting. Hawks. I don't want to sound over dramatic, but he's going to get a little helping of DRS here from the Renault, whereas Pump Mastiff doesn't. So that gap. Doesn't DRS carry over to this sector? It does not. So that'll be it for his little DRS helpings. I don't think he's going to get ahead on track. Anyway, 1.8 seconds, 1.5 laps to go. short lap, as we well know. Breno and Nodsey. Again. Nose to tail heading into turn 3. They just refuse to leave each other alone. Race will finish, they'll head home and be feeling lonely without each other, having hung out for the last 45 odd minutes straight. Oh, who's gone off? Cousin Jason just jumping out of the way. Saw a Mercedes and a yellow flag. Hart skipped a beat there, just for a brief moment, thinking it was the leader, Pump Mastiff, but the Mercedes driver has been in control all day. Out in front now on the 36th and final lap. And he's going to extend that championship lead over Mort. Further down, Dangerfield and Ninja Penguin will just take a quick peek at their little battle. Side by side down the pit straight. AlphaTauri will get that move done with the help of DRS. But in the meantime, the man of the moment, the leader, cruises to what looked like a pretty comfortable win in Austria. Pump Mastiff takes it from Hawks in second place. Here comes Mort, solid drive in third. And the duelers, Breno takes fourth as a result of the penalties. Nodsey fifth. Simo's going to be sixth, with Midas behind, having penalties of his own. Ferrari driver brings it round the final corner. And takes a sixth spot, with Midas just behind in seventh. Dangerfield had a busy little day. Wasn't without action of its own. Takes the 8th spot. There's your race winner, Pump Mastiff. Great drive. Once he got out in front of the pack, he never looked back. Waves to the crowd. Extends his championship lead just that little bit more. And the busy man, as I mentioned, Driver of the Day award goes to Dangerfield in the AlphaTauri. As we head to the podium, Pump Mastiff with the first place trophy. Hawks, unfortunately, the bridesmaid once more. But that was a solid drive, good strategy. And Mort in third place. So there's the race results. Recapping, Pump Mastiff first, Hawks second, switching their front row places from the beginning. Hawks just unable to capitalise from pole position. Pump Mastiff getting the slightly better start, and it was just enough to help him put the Mercedes up the inside of the Ferrari at turn 1, and never headed from there. Mort, solid drive to third. Breno fourth, ahead of his sparring partner Nodsey in fifth, and the Simo there in sixth. So that will be all from the Red Bull Ring in Austria. It's been great to have your company. I'm Mike Wilson. That'll be all from the PS4 Australia New Zealand Open Wheeler Division 1 Championship. Until next time, it's bye for now.